Hey everybody, so this is a change of pace. I just recently started playing Showdown about a week or two ago, and it's been a lot of fun. I figured since I don't have my own 3DS capture card, I would battle some on Showdown and record them for you, and upload them here on YouTube. I don't know if this will become a recurring thing, so that's where you come in. If you like this, please like the video and leave a comment saying that you do like it, because that will let me know, and I will go back to Showdown and record some more stuff for you. But for now, let's get on with this battle. The team I'm facing is the one that is looking at you, so I am facing Goodra, Bisharp, Garchomp, Mandibuzz, Volcarona, and Lucario, all of which are huge threats and all of which are in OU, because that is the tier that I prefer to play in, since it allows for a lot of freedom to pick whichever Pokemon you want to use. Initially, when I was looking at this team, I feared that Garchomp because I did not know what it was going to do. I didn't know if it was going to be a Mega or if it had a Scarf. And if it had a Scarf, I would be especially peeing my pants because that thing can really wreck my team. Volcarona is also a threat just in its own right. Even though I know what it's going to do, I still am afraid of it. So I needed to make sure that Heatran Stealth Rocks stay on the field as much as possible, so that Mandibuzz, I'm going to have to keep an eye on it too. The other three, if I don't have the right situation for them, I would have a problem with them, but those first three are the ones that I feared the most because of what they could do to ruin my team's momentum. So I'm going to start the video now, and we're going to see how this battle goes. Alright, so I decided to lead my team with Pangoro because it's just a really good lead. Unfortunately, it couldn't do anything to the Volcarona on the other side of the field, so I decided a parting shot out. Just in case Volcarona decided to Quiver Dance, that special attack drop will bring it back to neutral instead of adding an extra boost to it. He decided to Bug Buzz against my Cofagrigus, who was brought in to take an attack. I knew it would take an attack really well, but unfortunately, he brings in his Bisharp, and my Toxic does not work because Bisharp is Steel, obviously. And since I can't do anything to that Bisharp, I decided to switch Cofagrigus out and bring Pangoro back in because there's absolutely nothing Bisharp can do to Pangoro to hurt it that outside of a fighting type attack, which I don't think that Bisharp had. So he decided to bring Mandibuzz in, and I got a little bit of damage off with that Sky Uppercut. Unfortunately, just like before, Pangoro is not able to do much to Mandibuzz, especially since it's scarfed into that Sky Uppercut, and Mandibuzz would be able to roost off whatever damage that it took. I switched into Espeon, which was not that smart because it just took a knockoff. And yeah, that was kind of a dumb switch on my part, but I really couldn't afford to have anything else knocked off. Manectric probably would have been the best option because it's the Mega on this team and it can't have its Mega Stone knocked off. But luckily, Espeon is able to set up both screens, which is fortunate for me. It lived well enough to, put those up. Unfortunately, since the Light Clay was taken out, those screens will go down a lot faster. So since this Volcarona came in and Quiver Danced, I'm going to need to either take it out quickly or make sure I can maneuver around it so that it can't do very much to me. Luckily, with the screens up, that Bug Buzz did not do anything to Cofagrigus. Again, it did pretty much the same amount as it did before. I switched into my Gliscor because I knew that a Flamethrower would not take it out, and I'd be able to get the Toxic Orb up just in case Mandibuzz decided to come in later and try to knock it off. So I decided to switch again into Heatran because there really is nothing that Volcarona can do to Heatran outside of popping its air balloon. If it decides to switch in and choose Bug Buzz, but I knew it was going to use a fire attack. That increased my Flash Fire, which is awesome because that's what I wanted. I don't know why he switched into Lucario, because if I were to go for any fire type attack, that Lucario would go down quickly, unless of course it had a sash, which it very well may have. I set up Stealth Rock instead because I knew I wanted that up due to Volcarona just being scary. So I switched in Cofagrigus to take a Focus Blast since I knew that a fighting type attack was coming towards Heatran, and since I knew that that Lucario was going to switch out. I mean, unless it had Dark Pulse, I don't think it was going to do very much. I decided to rest up instead because I figured Bisharp was going to come back in. I went into my Gliscor to take an attack. I could have gone into Pangoro again, but I was fearing a knockoff from Bisharp this time. And since Gliscor was already poisoned, it didn't really matter to me if a knockoff happened. And plus, Gliscor is a defensive beast, so it can take pretty much anything. Mandibuzz comes in, and I am expecting a defog, actually, on this turn, which worries me because I want those Stealth Rocks up for both Mandibuzz and Volcarona. I decided to Toxic Mandibuzz because no matter how much it decided to roost up, eventually Toxic will take it down. And it decided to go for a knockoff, which was interesting because knockoff isn't really going to do anything to Gliscor now that it's already Toxic. That's one really good thing about Poison Hill Gliscor is that its item, if it's knocked off, it's knocked off. It's like whatever. I went for the Ice Fang. My Gliscor has Ice Fang instead of knockoff just so it can hit a lot more Pokemon that are generally threatening. Because I typically have coverage for everything else. I don't really rely on knockoff so much. But since Goodra came in, it obviously had a plan to take out Gliscor, and it has Muddy Water, which once again Cofagrigus was able to take really well. And the funny thing is, this Cofagrigus is not invested in special attack or special defense at all. So I'm pretty surprised that it's taking the hits so well. I really should have predicted that Bisharp switch in and not use Toxic. But again, even if Bisharp came in, I really didn't have anything, to deal with it with Cofagrigus. And at this point, I Toxic'd, but I was thinking that Bisharp was going to switch out because I would never leave a Bisharp in against a Gliscor because, hello, Earthquake. I knew that nothing that Bisharp was going to do was going to damage Gliscor very much. So, I don't know. That was weird. I decided to go to Earthquake here because I was like, okay, this guy's going to stay in, so I'm just going to Earthquake. But he decided to go into Mandibuzz this time, which was smart for him to do. I Ice Fanged, just to maybe flinch it or something. But it was able to roost off, and this Gliscor is not going to be able to do anything to that Mandibuzz. So, this turn, I decided to switch Gliscor out and bring my Manectric in because its item cannot be knocked off, and that's probably one of the only attacks that Mandibuzz has. I don't know if it has anything else because I haven't seen anything else. But he decided to bring Lucario in, so we both switched, and I know what my Manectric is capable of, and one Flamethrower, obviously, knocks out a regular Lucario. I don't know if that Lucario was sashed, but it really doesn't matter because now Stealth Rock is still up. That Mandibuzz hasn't gotten around to defogging it, if it even has the move. So the Garchomp is the Mega, since Lucario Knight is not allowed in OU anymore. Of course, Garchomp would have to be a Mega if there was a Mega on the team. I went for Hidden Power Ice, thinking that I was going to sack that Manectric, but instead that Garchomp decided to Sword Stance, and I was able to take it out with a Hidden Power Ice. I guess he assumed that I was going to switch out, but I really had no reason to. Not yet, anyway. This time, I decided to Volt Switch, and that was kind of a dumb decision on my part. I really should not have done that, because I knew that it wasn't going to take a Volcarona out, and I'm just bringing in Cofagrigus to sack it just foolishly, because I don't think it's very smart to sack this Cofagrigus after all that it was able to do early on in the match. But unfortunately, Cofagrigus goes down to 2 Flamethrowers, which is just unfortunate. I hate that. I hate that I let that thing go down because it would have been great to have around. So this time I decided to go into Heatran. I figured that Volcarona was going to roost up, but no matter what, I was going to keep the pressure on that Volcarona, and even if it decided to roost up, if it switches out, you're going to get Stealth Rock damage anyway. No matter what it does, it's not going to deal very much damage to Heatran. So in comes Goodra. That Volcarona is as good as dead because the next time it comes in, it's going to go down to Stealth Rock, and that's not going to be fun for it. So Goodra decided to Dragon Pulse. I guess maybe he decided I was going to switch again, but even a Muddy Water would not have knocked out my Avalon, my Heatran named Avalon. But I decided to switch out this time because Goodra is taking special hits like nobody's business. Fortunately, this Muddy Water misses. I was actually going to bring in Espeon to sack it, but it didn't really work out. I mean, it didn't really work out for my opponent because it sure worked out for me because I was able to set up 2 screens again. And this late game screen setup is really helpful to me because without Light Clay, it's just nice to have those 2 screens up while I only have a few Pokemon left to take out. So I decided to bring in Pangoro again and just Earthquake because I didn't want to take another gooey shot. I figured that Mandibuzz was going to come in, and so I decided to switch out this turn since I'm locked into Earthquake. Although I think I could have taken a knockoff and just kept Pangoro in because I don't think that anything other than Volcarona is faster than Pangoro. And Volcarona is going to go down to Stealth Rock anyway, so it's not like it really mattered if Pangoro lost his or her Choice Scarf this turn. Now Manectric is in, and it is able to get a Thunderbolt in on Bisharp and paralyzes it. With the Reflect up, I don't think a Sucker Punch from Bisharp would be able to take out that Manectric, so my opponent decided to forfeit. It was alright because that Manectric was set up to sweep anyway. And otherwise, it was a really good game, and I really enjoyed playing this Showdown match against an OU opponent. That was actually a lot of fun. I'm only able to record replays. I can't really record the live matches, so I hope that's okay with you guys. Remember to leave a like and a comment, and let me know if you enjoyed this so that I can maybe keep it up. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see y'all next time.